Alright.
What if your entire life was a lie? Every friend, every even your own wife, just actors on a stage you didn't know existed. This is the haunting premise of The Truman Show, a 1998 film that was years ahead of its time. Part dystopian drama, part social satire. It doesn't just tell a story, it holds up a mirror.
Say something, goddammit! You're on television! You're live to the whole world!
In case I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Yeah.
In this video, I'll be explaining the full story of The Truman Show, diving deep into its themes and exploring how eerily it predicted the world we live in today. Meet Truman Burbank, played by Jim Carrey. He's an ordinary man living an ordinary life in picture-perfect town called Sea Haven. He has a beautiful wife, a loyal best friend, a steady job in insurance, and cheerful neighbors who always smile, but almost too much. Everything is a little too clean, too friendly, too perfect. What Truman doesn't know is that his entire life is a television show. He's the unwitting star of a 24/7 reality broadcast seen by millions across the globe. The show within the movie is called The Truman Show, and it's the brainchild of Christoph, a visionary or manipulative TV producer played by Ed Harris. Everything within Truman's life was placed on purpose. Sea Haven, a giant set inside a dome. His family, actors, his friends, scripted. Even the sky above was controlled with stage lighting. From the moment Truman was born, he's been watched. His every move, every emotion. It's entertainment. The only thing he doesn't know is the truth. As the movie goes on, the facade cracks. The illusion begins to falter. One day, a stage light labeled Sirius falls from the sky. A technical glitch. Truman shrugs it off, but a seed of doubt is planted in his head. Soon after, Truman notices strange patterns. A radio signal perfectly describes his every movement. Same cars keep looping on his street. People seem to know what he's going to do before he does.
He's making his turn on the Lancaster Square. Oh my God! You knew it was something wrong. Change frequencies.
And then there's Sylvia. She was a woman Truman once met briefly. An extra who broke character and tried to tell him the truth. She was dragged away, her identity covered up, but her words stuck with him.
Truman,
What do they want?
listen to me. Everybody knows about it. Everybody knows everything you do. They're pretending, Truman. Do you understand? Everybody's pretending.
I don't know.
No. My name's not Lauren. It's Sylvia. My name's Sylvia. Yeah.
Lauren, sweetheart.
This sparked Truman's obsession. He starts questioning reality. His wife Meryl panics when Truman confronts her. She slips in product placements, literal ads, trying to keep the illusion intact. And when Truman pushes her too hard, she shouts,
Do something!
which was her breaking the fourth wall, asking the producers to intervene. The cracks are no longer subtle, and Truman begins to rebel. Further on, desperate to keep Truman in, the showrunners create artificial barriers. They've built Truman's fears since childhood. Fear of flying, a traumatic boating accident that supposedly killed his father. It's all been orchestrated to keep him from leaving Sea Haven, but the spell is breaking. Truman fakes sleep, he sneaks out, he disappears.
He's gone.
Panic sets in. For the first time in his life, they lose him, and they had to stop the live broadcast for the first time ever. A manhunt begins across the set, live on television. Millions watch in suspense. Finally, they spot him, Truman, alone on a sailboat, facing his greatest fear, the ocean. Christoph, from the control room, conjures a violent storm to stop him. The rain batters him, the waves rise. It nearly kills Truman, but he pushes forward. And then, suddenly, silence. The boat hits something, the wall. He's reached the edge of the world. He walks along and sees a staircase that leads to an exit door. A voice from the sky speaks. It was Christoph. He begs Truman to stay. He tells him there's no more truth in the outside world than the one he's created. Truman thinks, smiles, looks at the cameras and says,
In case I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
He bows and walks out. The screen cuts to static. The audience watching around the world is stunned. And then the final irony. Two security guards say,
I'm okay.
What else is on?
Yeah, let's do what else.
Where's the TV guy?
The Truman Show is more than a story about a man discovering he's on TV. It's a profound critique of modern life. Let's break down its major themes in depth. First, surveillance culture and voyeurism. Before Big Brother, before Instagram Lives, before reality TV took over primetime. The Truman Show predicted our obsession with watching others. Truman is the first reality TV star, but he doesn't know it. His every move was monitored by hidden cameras. His life is commodified, packaged for consumption. Viewers tune in not for drama, but for authenticity. The irony: Truman is the only real person in a world of fakes, and yet he's the only one being deceived. Christoph justifies this by
While
saying,
the world he inhabits is in some respects counterfeit, there's nothing fake about Truman himself. No scripts, no cue cards. It isn't always Shakespeare, but it's genuine. It's a life.
we live in an age of surveillance capitalism. Social media invites us to perform ourselves, and corporations collect our data for profit. We volunteer our privacy every day, curating identities for invisible audiences. Truman then is a metaphor for all of us, living under constant observation, often willingly. Free will versus determinism. Truman's journey is one of awakening, but it's also a philosophical battle between free will and control. From birth, his choices have been limited. Every friend, every fear, every was crafted to keep him in place. He was never allowed to choose who he loved, where he went, or even what he believed. This echoes the classic debate: are we truly free, or are our lives shaped by forces we don't see? Culture, media, family, or fear? Christoph insists Truman is free, yet every barrier he faces is artificially placed. The fear of water implanted, his dad's death staged, the travel agents, police officers, strangers in the street, all actors. Truman's ultimate act, sailing away, is a symbol of radical self-liberation. He chooses uncertainty over illusion, the unknown over the safe lie. It's a powerful message, and it tells us that freedom begins the moment we question our reality. Then there's media control and manufactured reality. The Truman Show is a chilling exploration of media manipulation. Christoph is not just a producer, he's a godlike figure who edits reality itself. He shapes narratives, controls emotions, and decides what the audience should see. This anticipates the rise of algorithmic media, where platforms decide what we see, what we think, what we feel, based on engagement and not truth. Christoph's control is so complete that even Truman's memories are curated. His nostalgia, fears, attachments, they're all constructs. His wife sells him hot chocolate in the middle of a breakdown. His best friend comforts him with scripted lines. There's a haunting question buried here. If everything we see is filtered, staged, or tailored, how much of what we believe is truly our own? Next we see escapism and the comfort of illusion. Truman's world was too perfect. Sunny skies, clean streets, predictable days. It's a curated fantasy, and that was the point. The film critiques the seductive nature of false comfort. The illusion is easier than the truth. Christoph even says,
We accept the reality of the world with which we're presented. It's as simple as that.
most of Sea Haven's viewers wouldn't choose to leave. Why suffer in the messy, unpredictable real world when you can live in a clean simulation? This idea parallels Plato's allegory of the cave, in which prisoners trapped in a cave can only see shadows on a wall and believe them to be real. When one escapes into the real world, the light is blinding, but it's the only path to truth. Truman walks out of the cave. He chooses to be painful, liberating truth. Then we can assess the identity, authenticity, and the self. Perhaps the film's deepest question is, who are we really when no one is watching? Truman has been performing his entire life, but once he senses the performance, he starts becoming himself. He breaks routines, he challenges authority, he lies, he sneaks, he rebels. For the first time, he is unscripted. This mirrors the human condition. We are constantly shaped by social norms, family expectations, jobs, roles, but underneath it all, there is someone real, someone untouched. Truman doesn't just escape a dome, he finds himself. Now we are able to look at the audience's role. One of the film's most subversive critiques isn't of Christoph, it's of us. The audience in the film watches Truman like entertainment. They cheer him on, cry with him, eat dinner with him, but they also watch passively as he is imprisoned. They feel like they care, but they do nothing to help. It's a damning reflection of real-world media consumption. When we watch tragedy, injustice, or manipulation on screens, we often feel moved, but we rarely act. We are spectators, not participants. The final line of the movie exposes the truth.
What else is on?
Yeah, let's do what else.
Where's the TV guy?
Even the most profound human journey can become just another show to binge and forget. Truman's story is powerful, not because he's a hero in the traditional sense, but because he does what so few of us are brave enough to do. He questions everything. The Truman Show does not end with explosions or twists, but a quiet act of courage. It's a story about waking up, and maybe that's why it still resonates, because it reminds us that the cage is only real if we don't look for the walls. So what's stopping you from finding your door? If you enjoyed this breakdown, hit like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments. What would you do if you discovered your world was fake? Until next time.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
See ya!